It's Fuzz. In this video, we're gonna talk about 5 books that every creative should read. Let's go. Book number 1, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Just like the title says, this whole book focuses on 7 habits that you should incorporate into your life. The first is being proactive, so taking responsibility for your actions and worrying about the things you can control and not really focusing on the things that are out of your control. The second is begin with an end in mind. So visualize where you want to go or what you want to do and reverse engineer that and making sure you have a clear idea of the destination you want to reach. The third is first things first, and it's all about time management and prioritization. So make sure the things that have to get done are done first, and then you kind of work your way down the kind of like the importance pyramid, if you want to call that. Fourth, and my personal favorite, is think win-win, and it's all about collaboration. And whenever you're working with someone, think about the mutual benefit and how both of you can benefit from whatever you're doing. The fifth is seek to understand, then to be understood. And that's all about listen first and speak later. A funny thing I've heard, and I'm sure you know it too, is that you have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so you should be listening twice as much as you're talking. So that always something that stuck with me. And this whole habit is all about listening to the other person's perspective and understanding the whole situation before you make any comments or give your own opinion. Number 6 is synergize, and it's all about teamwork and creativity. So by everyone bringing their strengths together, they can create something bigger than they all could individually. I resonate with that a lot just because personally when I'm working on music, I'm working with singers and songwriters and constantly getting opinions of other producers to make better songs, and it's all about having a team. And let's say if I'm not the greatest songwriter, I would talk to someone who's a great songwriter and get their opinion. And essentially, and if someone is not a great producer, then I'm happy to help and essentially give my opinion or my expert feedback on how that song can be produced better. And by combining our strengths, we can create something great. And lastly, number 7 is sharpen the saw. So it's all about personal growth and self-care. Just like how when you buy a knife, it's all nice and sharp at the beginning, but over the years, it gets dull and it doesn't cut well as anymore. That's the connection that's being made. And in this chapter, it talks about it is your responsibility to take care of your mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual health to become the best version of yourself. Moving on to the second book, and it is called The Power of Now. Now, a lot of us don't really soak in what's happening now or live in the moment. We're thinking about what happened in the past or what's going to happen in the future and missing out on what's happening right now. Now, for a moment, just think about now. All the friends you have, all the caring family you got, where you live, all the cool gadgets, and really enjoy the things you have right now and kind of the situation where you are at. And it talks about how your ego is actually the source of your suffering and sadness because it's creating a false sense of self, based on your thoughts, belief, and what you perceive. This book also shows you how you can observe your thoughts without fear of judgment. So really see what is it that your brain is thinking about or the thoughts that are coming in, and you can dig deeper of the reason those thoughts are coming into your head and really dig deeper and learn a lot about yourself. Lastly, it talks about how you can find peace, joy, and fulfillment in any situation by tapping into the power of present and living in the moment. So I highly recommend that you give that a read. Moving on to the next book, and it's called Big Magic: Creative Living Beyond Fear. Now, I recommend this book for any creative that has a little bit of a self-doubt, or a lot, we all do, and how you can pursue your creative endeavors without doubt. This book also shows that everyone has creativity. It might not be music, it might not be painting, but creativity comes in many shapes and forms, and everyone has that. And since we all have that creativity, our creative potential is actually waiting for us to be explored and for us to actually bring them to life. I love that idea. Now, for you to be able to create whatever you want freely, you have to overcome this obstacle of fear. And number 1 way of dealing with that fear is exactly that: managing it. You can't get rid of it, but you can learn how to manage it by understanding that it's actually part of the creative process and preventing it from stopping you in whatever you're doing. Now, an idea that I absolutely loved from this book is that ideas are alive and they come to us when they're ready. Now, whenever you get that feeling of inspiration, that's actually your idea that's speaking to you, that's calling for you to do something about it. You're also responsible for being open to receiving those ideas and working on them and bringing them to life. Last idea mentioned in this book is that make sure you enjoy the process of whatever art you're making and not really putting so much emphasis on the final results just because you can't really control the final results if it's going to be good or not, or people are going to like it. But one thing you can do is you liking the process for you to continue doing your work and use that as fuel to really go through the gears and being consistent on your work. The fourth book I'm going to talk about is called Mindset: The New Psychology of Success. Now, the people that know me, they know that I am a big psychology nerd and I love this stuff. This book talks about fixed mindset and growth mindset. Now, what does that mean? A fixed mindset is when we believe that our ability are set in stone, while a growth mindset is when we believe that we can improve through effort and hard work. Now, it's essential for you to have a growth mindset if you want to be successful and happy. By having a growth mindset, you're going to be more resilient to setbacks and heartbreaks and anything kind of negative. And for fixed mindset, it's easier for you to just give up. Let's talk about some of the characteristics of a fixed mindset. Number one is you have fear of failure or making a mistake, and number two is you need constant validation. Now, for the growth mindset, you embrace challenges and you learn from your mistakes, and you're always looking for different areas that you can grow. Now, how can you incorporate more growth mindset principles into your life? First is changing our understanding of failures. So what I mean by that, and instead of seeing failures as such a bad thing, we can look at them as ways we can learn or things that we shouldn't do again, and kind of like lessons learned. Second is focusing on the process than the outcome. And third is seeking out opportunities to learn and grow. Now, our fifth book is called The War of Art. Now, don't mistake this with The Art of War. That's a different book. This one. But this one is The War of Art. This book talks about self-sabotaging thoughts and how we can eliminate and kind of like shift them into the things that are actually beneficial for us. Now, this book talks about the processes and the thoughts that sometimes are sabotaging you and are not really healthy for you. This book has three parts. First is defining the enemy. Second is turning pro. And the third is the higher realm. Now, what does it mean by define the enemy? And the enemy is not an external enemy. It's actually an internal enemy. It's all of those thoughts that, prevent you from doing the things you should be or want to do. So procrastination, fear of failure, self-doubt, that is our enemy. That's my enemy for me, and that should be your enemy as well. And for your information, it's not only creative people that feel this resistance, it's actually everyone. So you're not alone. Now, the second section is called Turning Pro. What does that mean? It means that you have to approach your creative work with a professional mindset. So you're going to work, you're going to put in the hours, you're going to show up to work whether you like it or not. And yes, we're going to have the Mondays that no one likes. You're going to have the Sunday scaries. But regardless of all of those, you still show up and you still put in the effort. This section focuses a lot on developing your work ethic and being able to take criticism and rejection. The third part is called Higher Realm. And what that means is the work we do is actually meant for something greater. And it's not just for you, but it's also for other people to get inspired. And they also got inspired from other things. So it has a trickle down effect, like how dominoes kind of like fall down after like hitting each other. And also, you were meant to be here in this world. You were brought here in this world to fulfill that purpose. You have that purpose, and your creation of art is your purpose for you to affect people and make people feel some type of way. And that's powerful. Now that we covered all those 5 books that I recommend every creative to read, I am going to put a link down in the description of all those books in case you want to check them out or buy them. Now, your feedback is super useful, especially at these early stages for me creating my YouTube channel. So please make sure to leave any comments in terms of things you liked, things you want me to do, future video ideas, all that good stuff. I want to hear them. I need your feedback. You're part of the crew, and I'm making these videos for you. So tell me what is it that you want more, and I will try my hardest to deliver. Now, if you enjoyed this video, I'm going to put another video right here for you to enjoy. But before you go there, make sure you like and subscribe, and see you in another video. Bye.